Welcome to the PHAROS Fit podcast, where we help you to explore your capacity to move better, push further, and achieve your limitless potential through fitness, nutrition, recovery, and lifestyle. Hey guys, welcome back to the PHAROS Fit podcast. Good to be back with you guys again. I'm here today with Brandon. Brandon, first of all, did you get my Idle Wild mug in the picture?
It's a good mug. Oh, we got that.
Brandon is just back from Iceland, and we're sitting in the PHAROS Mountain Lodge right now, doing our second podcast from here, which is fantastic. How's Iceland, Brandon?
It's up there. It was such an amazing place. I could end up seeing myself living one day. It was that great.
A lot of people say that. I've never been, which seems crazy because, you know, I'm from Europe and it's the place, or it's one of the places that everyone says you should go to. And of course, you come to the States and it's like, oh my God, you have to go to Iceland. And I've never managed to get there, but everyone says how magical it is, how clean it is. Was it expensive, or people say the food's expensive, but because it's hard to grow anything there, right?
Yeah, they do a lot of hydroponic stuff.
Yes.
In terms of like with geothermal energy. But, you know, it's just one of those things where just like on a value basis, your water is good enough to drink out of the tap.
Because it's straight from the glacier, right?
Comes from a glacier. Your warm
Basically
water.
sucking on a glacier for...
your hot water is like you're going to a spa. It's got all the minerals from the volcano. So it's just like you got hot spring water coming in for your bath and shower. Electricity is cheap because it's all coming from the volcano energy as well. And it's just those little basic things where you're like, okay, I could pay a little bit more for my food. I didn't do much grocery shopping, but you know, for a 4-course, 3-course meal, paying $40 on average, and having a beer as well. You know, when you're traveling, it was a beer with every meal.
Yeah,
wasn't bad. It was like, oh, this is worth the cost. I don't know, like on a daily basis for your cooking, like here in the States, a lot of your groceries are subsidized. You can get away with, you know, very, very easy, cheap living. But you know, you go out, you're gonna pay for it. But I mean, not terrible. Definitely worth going there. Maybe living there. Who knows?
Did you exercise there? Did you hike? What did you do?
A lot of hiking.
Yeah.
Anything with the word foss in it is their word for waterfall. So I did a road trip around the entire country, and I was with one of my oldest buds who no problem going out hiking, climbing. So you know, any chance we can get, and then anything for the content, you know, anything for a good shot.
And you mentioned everybody there seemed to be happy.
Yes.
Which coming from the States is like,
you know, it was a blend of like, listen, you know, all your politicians tell you guys don't want to pay more in taxes, but you know, we pay as much taxes as other people, and we just get no value for really living in a place. Like, what's the value of living in a city? Like, okay, you want to be more closer to people and be more, you know, get that physical connection, and then also the emotional thing you get with community and culture, but like, how much of that are we actually getting when we live?
Where's that money really
in
going?
A big collective of people? So, you know, just seeing people just when they went out to a pub in like Reykjavik in a big city, like just like talking like, oh yeah, I'm just happy. Like it's like, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
How do I get this happiness? You know, is it going all the way there? Do I need to go all the way to Iceland and live? Because you know, we just don't really put that as an important part of our lives. It's work, 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 and then we're told we don't work hard. But like, we do work insanely hard, and we need to reward ourselves a lot more.
Yeah, the work-life balance in the States is, you know, you work a lot more than you live.
Yeah, you know, I'm really happy for you guys. You know, taking that big plunge of building this up here.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it, really, to have that quality of life kind of that we're talking about. And you mentioned there, you know, you can have a pretty like, not to like say any job is average or whatever, but you can have like a medium wage job and have a very decent lifestyle with a 3-bedroom house and, you know, all that kind of stuff. That was
like the crazy part. Just like, if you're a taxi driver and your wife's a school teacher, like, all right, you go to work normal hours, you get off normal hours, but you don't take your work home with you. As entrepreneurs, both of us, like, you get that, like having to deal with an emergency, someone needs this or that. Like, I'm almost at that point. Like, I can't take too much of my work home with me. It's just like, oh, you know, you make $50,000 to $70,000 a year. You don't pay for health insurance. Your electricity is $0 to a few bucks a month. Your water bill's nothing because it just comes from the country itself. Like, oh wait, what do we pay for here? That electric bill here, we're supposed to be like the top oil producer in the world now, but our gasoline costs disgusting. Like you drive an electric car there, you plug it into your home, you don't pay for anything. And it's just like, all right, like you won't even be a waiter or a bartender. It's like, you know, okay, like do we look down upon people with those jobs, or do we say like, hey, someone needs that job. I want to make sure that their baseline's met and they're happy.
I wonder how they are on immigration. I wonder how they are in like letting people in. Are they
again? They just get it right. Like with the banking crisis, like back in 2008.
Yeah, they
had one of their countries like the first to tumble, and they
said, "Yeah,
oh, all of the bankers, yeah, you're going to jail forever." They're like, "Yeah, sorry, that's done. It. You're done. No slap on the wrist like America." But, what was the main question with
like immigration? Do they like? Is it easier to move there or?
I mean, most people like immigration. They have big from Eastern Europe, and it's just like, okay, you want this waiter and waitress job? Like people in Iceland. I don't want to rag on people in Iceland, but they're just like, they just don't work that hard. You know, they just know everybody has agreed in the culture and society, financially, culturally. Yeah, we're not going to work that hard. But you know, if I go to my job, I do X, Y, Z. Like, I'm good with this baseline. This is the baseline of society. So if you do want to come in, even have a small business and hustle it out, you can do that. It's not like, you know, you're not allowed to. Like the big bad socialism werewolf in America says you can't work anywhere else but America. And a lot of people, most people that had like waitress jobs or bartending jobs, they're from Eastern Europe. And they were all coming in and just like, yeah, people from Iceland won't take these jobs.
Right. All right.
So, you know, it was
you heard it here first, guys. Move to Iceland.
If you're cool with like very odd daytime and nighttime with the sun being in and out.
Yeah, that's the only thing, is it like in the winter, it's a lot of darkness. There's not much daylight.
Not much daylight, but man, like the safetiness, like a country that has like more guns per capita, I think, than America, or is like up there. Safetiness is like, oh, here's the keys to my apartment. Like kids walking down the street at 1, 2 in the morning because it's summertime and it's light out.
Right.
Like you're seeing someone walk the dog at 2 a.m. Just like, oh,
crazy.
It's just a thing. And people just don't worry about it. They don't think about it.
Yeah.
Leaving your baby. I think there's a big case in London, actually. They leave their babies outside in the snow by themselves, rocking in a cradle. To get them tough, but also it's just like a thing. Shit. So like a woman in London was charged with child abuse because it's like, oh no, I'm from Iceland. This is what we do.
Oh shit, really? That's hilarious.
Yeah. So just safety. If you're willing to.
So they put their babies outside. They rock them like in the freezing cold to toughen them up. God, I like that. I'm going to do that with Wyatt.
Yeah. Get them ready for the winter time coming up.
That's perfect here for that. Which leads us into a little update for you. So as I said, we're currently sitting in there in the PHAROS Mountain Lodge. We've been working really hard up here trying to get it ready as quickly as possible. There's a couple of different sides to it. Obviously, there's the residential side where we're building accommodation that people can stay in, and we want it to be obviously of a high quality. So we're doing it as nice as we can on the budget that we've got. And then obviously I'm building out the gym, which is looking good right now. It's been a lot of work, but me and Wyatt have been out there like banging away every day, trying to get it ready, and it's been a lot of fun. I got to say, working out there and having him just, obviously he just like watches and learns and gets excited and imitates a little bit. And I'm when I started this project, I kind of said to myself, I want to learn a lot of stuff as I go. I want to teach myself some things that I don't know how to do, and I've done that, and I'm continuing to do that because everything I do, I have a problem that I have to like solve and overcome in order to move forward. And I'm trying to do it on a budget. So I'm trying to use as much reclaimed wood as I can. So anything I kind of demolish, I'm then kind of using again and like reusing whatever I can, and being as efficient and as creative as I possibly can be. Because I want it to be a great gym, but I also want it to be like an earthy, rustic kind of gym because we are in the woods. We're in the middle of the national forest, and I want it to feel. I don't want it to feel like you're in a modern gym in the city. I want it to feel like you're in the wilderness, and it will feel like that. There's no way around it.
The deal with technology. People are like, "Oh, I don't have to learn this anymore. I just call the guy." I'll call a guy for that.
Right.
You know, we lose touch with how things are done. And
Right. I'm trying to call as few guys as possible.
There's a cool understanding to how things work and why they work the way they work to, just get a bit of appreciation as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I got to say, everyone here is so nice. Like, and there's just something about, the great thing about Idlewild is, there's no big companies here. Everything is small. Everything is local. So, you go down to the hardware store, I speak to the guy there. He takes... The guy at the hardware store took like an hour of his time just to kind of like chat and ask me where I was from, and he wanted to help me as much as possible, and we had to order some stuff, and it was, it was just a great, like, he took the time to like really like learn about me and tell me about him, and we shared some stories, and we fixed the problem that needed fixing, and it's just little things like that when you kind of do this kind of thing in a small town. And I've missed that because that's where I come from. I come from the Isle of Wight, so I come from a small island where everything's kind of local. And I think Idlewild is more local than the island was. I mean, the island got more commercial, big companies coming in, but Idlewild is still very, very local. And I love that about it. It's a special kind of feeling. So yeah, I'm still working away on the gym, and the Rogue order came today. It was a funny episode today. The Rogue truck turned up, and anybody that orders fitness equipment from Rogue knows that when the Rogue truck comes, it's like Christmas Day, because it's like, oh my god, all my toys are here. Anyway, this huge rig shows up, and Idlewild's small road, so this guy's like has to reverse down the stony drive to get here. And he pulls up to the end. It's like, dude, I can't get my truck up to your house. Like, I'm gonna have to like put it at the bottom of the street. So we had all these plates and dumbbells and boxes and all this shit. We just dumped it all at the end, and I just basically farmer carried everything up to the garage. And then Brandon showed up halfway through, and got a bit of a workout that he wasn't expecting.
No, I can't pass on a good workout.
But it was a lot of fun. So yeah, that's going in, and then this afternoon tonight, I'm going to try and get as much of that in as I can, and then hopefully the flooring will arrive next week, and I'll get that in. So hopefully by the end of July, I'll have something that looks a lot more like a gym, like a real gym. But again, a gym in the wilderness, so it'll feel very, very wildernessy. And then we booked our first retreat, and our first one is going to be a staff retreat for our staff. Kind of a little bit of a thank you to our staff for everything we've gone through in the last year. Bit of a team building kind of event, but also a bit of a guinea pig kind of thing where we're going to try some stuff out with them. Get some feedback, see what works. We've done a couple of surveys, asking people what they want out of a wilderness retreat. Do they want to do hikes? Do they want to do what kind of workouts do people want to do? What kind of events do people want to do? Do they want to do archery? Do they want to do axe throwing? Like what kind of stuff do they want to do? So if you're out there and if you're listening to this and you do have stuff that you want to do that you've never gotten the chance to do, then let us know. We're trying to build. We're trying to build a special retreat, an escape from the city where people can come and do stuff that they can't normally do. Obviously, the natural environment presents new opportunities. It's not just a space to work out, although the working out here is going to be fantastic because we can combine a lot of indoor and outdoor stuff. But we want to put in some other fun activities. I really want to get an outdoor ping pong table. Can't be a good game of ping pong. It's the best.
No.
We had a ping pong table forever in the lobby. And I would play ping pong with a lot of my clients, and Emily would get pissed off with me because she said it was taking up too much space.
I
but
remember
it's a lot of fun. Yeah,
I forgot that you guys had one in there. Wow, it's been that long. Just pandemic took it out.
Well, I think it was before the pandemic because we were trying to get the shop. We got the shop there with all the apparel and stuff, and it was taking up a lot of space, and it's kind of noisy, obviously, because people get carried away.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, I'm definitely going to get one up here. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Wood hand carved one for the outdoors?
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I got a good outdoor fucking, what'd you call it? Sacks into the hole game. Cornhole.
Cornhole.
I got a good handmade cornhole set, which is pretty cool. So yeah, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you do have any ideas, anything you want to do, let us know. And yeah, so end of July, we should have the gym wrapped up. We've got our retreat with the staff soon after that. And then we'll be opening it up for future retreats. I think we'll try and do 3 this year. And then it will be open also for bed and barbell. So it doesn't have to be a full retreat. Like people can come anytime and book a bed and barbell so they can come, stay, train. And there'll be options for either if they just want to use the gym and train on their own, they can. Or if they want to like book us for personal training and train with us, they can do that too. And there'll be obviously a hot tub and lots of like cool amenities that again, it's hard to really take advantage of in the city. So it'll be a lot of fun. So.
And where else can they want to book that? It's going to be like an Airbnb?
They'll be able to book through the PHAROS website.
The PHAROS Mountain Lodge is an extension, or you have your own website for that?
It'll be an extension of the website. It has its own Instagram page, which is at PHAROS Mountain Lodge, I think. And then you'll be able to book through. There'll be a link on the Instagram, and there'll be a link on the website. And then it will be available on Airbnb as well. So yeah, there's lots of opportunity, lots of different things with it. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting kind of experiment to see, how many people in Idlewild want to work out, because we really don't know. We know there's a lot of people that want to come here and work out and stay, but there's what we have kind of learned since we've been here is there's a lot of youngish people moving to Idlewild for the same reason that we have. So I think it's going to be a fun year, just like figuring out like who wants to come train and what kind of fitness community exists here and how we can positively, affect Idlewild and help other local businesses here. We've made some good friends already, and I want to like bring business to them, and help all of the local businesses in Idlewild. I think it's a great opportunity to do that, and I love doing stuff like that. Like I love sharing opportunity and sharing.
Absolutely. So are you guys going to be open like daily? So if someone lives in Idlewild, they want to come to the gym here.
We're not really sure yet. We haven't kind of figured that out. We're going to start off with the retreats and the bed and barbell, and then we're going to kind of see, what people want. We see if we get some requests, and I'm sure it'll start small and be like, oh, do you mind if I come and work out? But yeah, sure. And then we'll see. Maybe originally we want to do like a semi-private thing, which is basically when you have the semi-private model, it's basically a coach and 3 clients. So it's a lot cheaper than personal training, but it's not the same as, a class full of 20 people. It's a small controlled environment where you're doing, similar like fun workouts. You're feeding off each other's energy, but you get a lot more personal attention. So it's like reduced cost personal training. Mm-hmm. It's a model that I've used before that I really like. So that may be the way that we go up here. But yeah, it really depends on the market here and what people want. So it's going to be exciting to figure that all out and see what's going on.
Yeah, so I was going to say it's going to be difficult with if someone does show up at 6 a.m. or someone here relaxing, the barbells are being thrown.
Yeah, so we definitely can't do that, because one thing I am very conscious of and I want to be very aware of is, this is a small neighborhood of people that like the quiet life. So I certainly don't want like clanging and banging at 6 a.m. waking up the whole neighborhood. So we are going to be very respectful and very controlled about what we do here. And really and truly, there's no need to be doing that shit at 6 a.m. in Idlewild.
Coach Waka, you're not allowed to start training until 10 a.m. here.
None of that. So, but we will be doing like when we do the retreats. We may well start early, and they'll be like in my head. I'm like, because some people like me, like we always get up early. It's just the way that our bodies are programmed now. Mm-hmm. So it may be like from 6 till 8. There's the coffee and fruit available, and maybe we'll either run or we'll hike. That kind of nice kind of like gentle warm up to the day kind of thing, and then we'll come back, we'll have breakfast, and then there'll be a main workout at some point in the day, and throughout the day there'll be like different activities going on, different opportunities to, whether it's ping pong, whether it's going in the hot tub, whether it's a stretching session, there'll be lots of different things going on, and then after the main workout, which will probably be around lunchtime, 2 p.m.ish maybe. We'll do a big workout together, and then there'll be again more opportunities to to do stuff, and there'll be a communal meal in the evening. We got that. Did you see that big communal table out front?
I
It
did.
was a beautiful big wooden table to share meals. And we got lots of ideas for the kind of food that we're going to have available. Lots of outdoor cooking, obviously. And there may be a good deal of meat, because you know what I'm like.
Well, now that we know that farm.
Now that we found that farm, we just found like a regenerative farm real close, which I'm super excited about, because I'm really into regenerative farming.
We found our guest, if we can get him on the show too.
Yes. If we can get them on the show, I'm definitely down for that. That really did excite me, because again, it's that thing of like you're not only are you like helping the local economy, you're really doing something you believe in, which is regenerative farming, which is for me the solution to a lot of problems right now. So that's super exciting. So we can hook up with them. We can provide that food. We can cook, and like I said, like a lot of what we're going to do is going to be communal. Now I know everyone needs their privacy, and there's going to be time for that. But a lot of what we do here will be, sharing and eating together, and hiking together, running together, doing a lot of fun stuff together to really build connection. And when we've been talking about kind of words that we associate with the PHAROS Mountain Lodge, connection is one of those big words, because connection means three different things for me in this space. It's connection with yourself, like so connecting with yourself, outside of the trappings of your daily grind in the city, and then connecting with others. I think a lot of us over the last year lost a lot of connection with other people. So getting that back and learning to communicate successfully with other people away from like phones and social media, but in real time, actually communicating with people. And then connection to nature, which again, it's funny, you move to California, a lot of people move to California because of the environment and the opportunities of the mountains and the seas and, everything, the mountains and the oceans and everything that we have here. And sometimes you just don't get to take advantage of it, because you just get stuck in the daily routine. Where here, I want people to really like make that connection with nature again, and take advantage of the wilderness. So that's what a lot of it's going to be about. So I'm super excited for people to experience that.
No, I've been lucky enough to experience that. Just like making sure you get out in California. There's, the diversity of being in the ocean at one point. 2 hours later, you could be up in the mountains and snowing. Like, but like you said, people just do not take advantage of that. Even like in Glendale, back when Echo Park, like you just go right up there. Some gorgeous hikes and some gorgeous climbs you can do.
It really is. It's taking the time to do those things will completely change your life, because you do get stuck. We all get stuck in routines and oh, I don't have time. I got to do this. I got to do that. And then when you do it, you're like, oh my God, I need to do this more often. It just gives you a completely different perspective. Honestly, your perspective up here is completely different to what it is in the city. Because right now, me and Emily, and Wyatt, we're in LA Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we come up on a Wednesday evening, and then we're here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, building out the lodge, and then we go back down to LA on a Monday morning, and we'll do that for a while. And the great thing about that is, you really get the advantage of the country and the city. So when you're in the city, obviously there are certain things that people like about the city, like you've got access to good restaurants and good bars and good coffee shops, and you get to see everybody, you get to experience a little bit of the hustle and bustle. But then it's like, okay, it's enough of that. Let's get back to the mountain. So it's a nice balance, and we'll see how that goes for the next few months, and how much of one and how much of the other we need in our lives to make things work, both financially and on a personal level. So yeah, whatever it is, we'll make it work. But we're super excited about it. Next thing I wanted to talk about, because a few people have been asking me about it, was Joe P's transformation. I put it on my Instagram earlier. Joe Picurio, good friend of mine, who's been a member of the gym for a very long time, since day one, since the shed days. He's old school. He's an actor, and he just got himself in incredible shape. And I posted about it. A lot of people asked me questions, so I want to be clear about what Joe P did, why it is so simple, and why it is what no one wants to do. Here's what he did. Joe P, he follows the Blvd program, and the build program at Pharos Athletic Club is a hybrid of hypertrophy and strength and conditioning. It's always been that way. It is primarily, its purpose is to build strength and lean muscle tissue. And there are short conditioning pieces at the end of the session. People can draw parallels perhaps with CrossFit, but it's a lot more simplified than CrossFit. There is no high technical gymnastics in there. There's no Olympic lifting as such. There may be some power cleans, but it's a fairly primary movement-based class. And the movements are fairly straightforward. We do 3-week cycles of different protocols. So it may be, we've just finished this, the second week of German volume at the gym, German volume training. And then, we'll do a cycle of something else for 3 weeks, and we mix it up like that. Sometimes cycles are more strength-based. Sometimes cycles are slightly more hypertrophy-based. Sometimes cycles are slightly more conditioning-based. It's depending on the time of year, depending on my whim, depending on what I'm into at that time, depending on what I observe in class and what I think people want and need. I'll change things a little bit. So Joe P just comes to class. It's pretty simple. He comes to class and he does the workout as prescribed, and he always works hard. He doesn't do any kind of special programming. He doesn't bug me about, oh my God, I need something special. I want to do something else. It's like, no, I'll just do the work that you program for everybody, and I'll do it to the best of my ability. So that's what he does, and he does it every day. In addition to that, in addition to just showing up to build every day, which is an hour, by the way, it's an hour class, every morning, Joe P did fasted cardio. He did between 3K and 5K every morning. Okay, so he would come in the morning before the build class. He would do either a 3K or a 5K. Sometimes he'd do 3K, sometimes he'd do 5K. Didn't complicate it, just did what he felt like on that day. Sometimes he ran a little bit slower, sometimes he ran a little bit faster, just again, depending on his energy levels, depending on how he felt. But he would always get that work done. Okay, so he'd come in and do his fasted cardio. He would do that every day. After his fasted cardio, he would eat before training build. Okay, so he would eat, not a huge meal, but something just to give him a little bit of, recovery from the cardio and a little bit of energy to perform the build well. And he would mix in both carbs and proteins in that meal. He'd then take the build class, and he'd then eat again after the build class. Okay. Now here's what's key. In the afternoon, sometimes in the evening, he would go for a walk, a 30 to 60 minute walk. Again, nothing complicated. He just went for a walk. Again, people want a magic pill or something really complicated. It's I need to be doing something special. Well, Joe P just went for a walk.
That's the only thing they prescribe sometimes. Just go for a walk 30 to 60 minutes in the morning and evening. If you want basic movement, that's all you need in the day. That's your basic.
Wonders for your metabolism, wonders for your circulation, wonders for your digestion. I remember Stan Efferding talking about this. It's a great thing to do. It's a super simple thing to do. Maybe you listen to a podcast. Maybe you listen to music. Maybe you got a kid and you take out the pram or the pushchair, as you guys call it, and you take your kid for a walk. Whatever it is, he just went for a walk, 30 to 60 minutes, nothing complicated. His calories. Let's talk about his weight first. Bear in mind, this was just over. He started on April 24th, and he just finished, and it's July 2nd today?
2nd, I believe.
July 2nd today.
Still the 2nd, yeah.
We're talking about just over 2 months for this transformation. This 2-month transformation, he went from 204.1 pounds down to 180.5 pounds. That's 25 pounds.
Was that pretty religious, 5 to 7 days a week? Or
religious. No fucking around.
Didn't miss a day?
Didn't miss a day.
Was that 5 or 7? So
7 days a week.
7 days a week.
Yeah. He was on it. I'm sure he took a rest day here and there. I know he went home at one point, and I'm sure Joe P likes a drink, so I'm sure he had a drink here and there. But pretty much religiously for the 2 months he was doing this routine. He started. Here's what's interesting. He started his calories at 2,200 a day, and he increased his calories every 3 weeks. He went 2,200. 2,500, 2,700, finished at 2,700. So he increased his calories and continued to lose weight as his metabolism ramped up, which is interesting, right? Because usually people think, if I want to lose more weight, I got to reduce the calories. Well, he did the reverse. he actually increased calories over the period and continued to lose weight and not lose muscle, which is again key. Now, in terms of his macronutrient balance, because everyone always wants to know about macros, he was pretty much 33, 33, 33 across the board. So he wasn't super low carb, which is what a lot of people do. He wasn't doing intermittent fasting, although he was doing fasted cardio in the morning. Technically, he wasn't doing intermittent fasting because the window wasn't big enough. He wasn't doing any kind of special diet. He wasn't paleo. He wasn't keto. He wasn't anything special. He was just 33, 33, 33 across the board, but consistently. But what he did stick to is the calories. Okay, so again, 2,200, 2,500, 2,700, increasing over the period of time as his metabolism ramped up and his body fat came down. So a lot of people, when they talk about transformation, when they talk about wanting to lose weight, everybody thinks that there is some kind of special movie star workout that only Chris Hemsworth knows about. And you've got to get Chris Hemsworth app to be able to do it. It's not. It really is just hard work and sticking to the plan and consistent diet. Now, bear in mind, Joe P is a single guy, doesn't have kids. He's able to come and train every day, and he was able to dedicate a good amount of time to this. So like I said, in the morning he worked out before build. So bear in mind, that space is probably at least a 2-hour window between getting into the gym, doing his cardio, eating, and then doing build. So he dedicated that amount of time in the morning, 2 hours, and then he went for his 30 to 60 minute walk in the afternoon. So you're talking about almost 3 hours a day dedicated to training, quote unquote. So obviously, again, an hour of that training was just going for a walk. 30 to 60 minutes, he just went for a walk. A lot of us are capable of doing that if we, again, maybe we go for a walk with our other half, our partner, or our kids, whatever it is. I think often we get stuck inside and it's like, let's just fucking stick the kids on the computer and, do whatever. But we could easily go out and take our family for a walk. It wouldn't be that complicated. And sometimes it is a lot easier to find the time than we think. I mean, Joe P's getting up at, 5:30, getting in the gym early, getting his work done before his training done before the day starts. And then, as I said, going for his walk in the afternoon. So a lot of the time it takes reorganization of the day. It does take you taking this information and trying to implement it into your life. Like, what's your situation? What's your daily routine? What's the demands of your life? And how can I create routine in my life? And then, you find a way. And once you do find a way, you just have to stick to the plan and stick to the diet, stick to the nutrition. Like I said, he didn't have a special kind of diet, 33, 33, 33 across the board, but he was eating good food. He wasn't eating trash. He wasn't eating junk. He was eating real food. And he was consistent with that. I think, again, a lot of the time, people think there must be some kind of special foods or some superfoods or, all these different things that they need to get results. But it all comes down to eating foods that your body can easily metabolize. So real foods that your body knows what they are and can use. So not a ton of like artificial foods or man-made foods or that kind of stuff. Just real food that he was eating regularly, consistently. He was sleeping well. He was being very conscious of his sleep. Again, it just, when I look at this, I'm like, and I'm so glad, like, I spoke to Joe about it and he reached out and told me about what he was doing, because I'm like, this is the information that people need. Because Joe P, he's a guy that is always been physical. So his metabolism's, in a good place. But he made a conscious decision. I want to do a cut. I want to be able to see my abs, which everyone always asks about. How do I see my abs? He had a plan. He stuck to the plan, and it only took 8 weeks. Which, people will always ask, how long does it take? How long does it take to cut? How long till I get in that shape? Well, it depends how hard you're willing to work. If you're willing to do this, if you're willing to stick to this for 3 hours a day, or 2.5 or whatever it takes you, then maybe it takes you 8 weeks. Of course, we're all different. We all have different metabolisms. But this is not rocket science. Like I said before, Joe P did not have a special workout plan. He came to the classes that I programmed. Then he did his added cardio. Then he went for a walk, and he stuck to his diet.
I can attest to all these things too, because like the, I think if it's somebody who's trying to stay in great shape, like throwing those carbs before the workout, more fat towards the evening, definitely seeing a result in just how I can get to sleep better at night. Just, not having foods with that much higher energy in them, especially knowing the education about the rollover of, having the hormonal system is going to be much more beneficial with more fatty foods, especially in the evening when your hormonal system is probably working its best to regurgitate stuff. And then those 8x8s workouts with 30-second rest between. Yeah. Just like such a great high quality thing to get to the gym. If I go to the gym out here, I'm in there for 60 minutes, but I'm not taking that rest time between and able to really hit a toned area of the muscle group that I'm working on that day.
Well, that's the other thing. It's not the time in the gym. It's not 60 minutes because you can do 3 exercises.
Well, just for me to get in there, when I want to.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you had a very efficient workout because you were doing 8x8s with 30-second rest, which is why I love programs like that and why I love class. The reason I take class, my own classes, is because if I go to a 60-minute class at Pharos Athletic Club, I'll get a shit ton of work done.
Yes.
If I'm left on my own devices, it'll take me 3 hours and I'll do 3 deadlifts because you just don't work as quickly. You just get distracted. Whereas when you're in that class environment, you've got your peers around you, you've got your coach on you, you get a ton of work done. If you're on the 8x8 with 30-second method, you've got 8 sets of 8 reps with 30-second rest. There's no fucking around. That's it.
Oh, and I'm doing a back squat with that, or I'm doing deadlifts, and I know I got to hit going 135 plus for those back squats, and you're trying to hit it. There's no joking with that.
Well, that's the thing. And rest periods, when we talk about variables in the gym, often we'll talk about, weight, and often we'll talk about reps, but rest periods are key because when you have those short rest periods, you're going to work a fucking ton harder and you're going to burn a lot more fat. So that's something you should always look at. When people think about I did everything that was asked of me. I was like, well, did you really stick to everything? Did you stick to the rest periods? Did you work as hard as you should have been working? I think that's the question we all need to ask ourselves. Am I working as hard as I should be? Because sometimes I look at people and they come up to me and they're like, oh, I don't really feel like I'm getting results. And I'm like, well, I know why. It's hard for me to tell you to your face because you're going to be upset, but you need to work harder. And that's the honest, brutal truth a lot of the time. People are being too relaxed with their workouts. They're giving themselves too much rest. They're giving themselves a break because they feel they deserve it. And sometimes it's you got to be on it. And that's why I recommend to everybody to come take classes at Pharos Athletic Club because you will get a lot more work done.
No, trying to cram in and get the stuff done and the way you program the classes as well as the way the trainers you have there work it. It's just got to be, So that is Joe P's transformation. If you have any questions about that, guys, reach out to me or reach out to Joe. He's the man that did it. It was an incredible transformation and I watched him throughout the whole process. Getting leaner and leaner and leaner and leaner, still strong as fuck, still a ton of muscle. It was a great, a great reminder of how simple it is when we really put the work in. Now that leads me to my last point I want to make about in this podcast. Obviously, this is gonna come out on July 4th, right? Independence Day. We can put it out July 4th, yeah.
Yeah. This is my first, obviously, July 4th in Idlewild, and I'm super excited about it. There's gonna be a big parade in town. Mayor Max, the mayor of Idlewild, who's a dog, is going to be leading the procession, which I'm excited to see. We'll take Wyatt down; he'll watch it, and it's going to be a great moment and another realization of an American dream. It's weird being here now, and I talked about this in the previous podcast, kind of like everything feels like it's been leading to this point, kind of going from a small town which I grew up in to the big city. I mean, I lived in London. I spent a good amount of time in New York. I spent a lot of time obviously in LA, and now I'm back to the small town of Idlewild, and it feels like I've kind of come full circle a little bit. Obviously, I'm still back and forth to LA, so I still have the city in my life, but it feels like this is where I should be right now, and it does feel like an American dream realized. And it took a lot of work to get here, and it took a lot of struggle and overcoming a lot of adversity. And I'll be honest, there were points in my life where I don't want to say doubted that something like this would be possible, because I've never been without hope. I've never been that full of doubt. But there were moments that definitely made me ask a lot of questions, and I wasn't sure whether things were going to pan out the way I wanted them to work out, the way I wanted things to pan out. And I just want to remind everybody, because I know everybody goes through hard times, everybody goes through struggles, and things don't always work out the way that we want. And sometimes, you know, we talked about this earlier, Brandon, we watch too much news, the news gets us down, we kind of get hopeless, we don't think that there's any chance for humanity or for society or for America or whatever it is.
I'm getting there.
I just want to remind everybody that this is a great country. This place has a lot of opportunity. It does take hard work. It does take building relationship. It does take companionship. It takes self-belief. It takes belief in others. It takes faith. It takes sharing. But if you do work on all those things, then you can achieve great things here. And I'm so grateful to be in this place, in this position. I'm so thankful for everyone who's been a part of PHAROS Athletic Club and everything that it is. My whole team there. All of our staff, all of our members, everybody that's contributed towards this journey of the last few years. We are in this place now in Idlewild, building something again for the next few years ahead. It's an exciting time, and I want to say thank you, and I want to try and remind everybody that to not lose hope, and to keep working for your dreams, and keep fighting for what you want and who you want to be. And don't lose faith in other people, and don't lose belief in this place. Or, it's easy to lose hope when you watch the news and when you listen to negative voices all the time. And if you are surrounded by people who are negative all the time, then it's easy to get down. But surround yourself with positive people. Keep working for what you want. Keep working for what you believe, and eventually good things will come, I promise. Keep working at it. I want to wish everybody a happy 4th. Have a fantastic time with family and friends, and enjoy it. And yeah, keep believing, and you'll get there. Trust me. Okay, guys, that about wraps it up for today. Thanks, Brandon, for coming up. I appreciate it. Brandon's driving up all the way to the lodge right now. It's a long trek, so I appreciate it.
It's a beautiful drive. I love it. It's worth it. To climb the mountains, even that little Honda Civic I have.
Yeah.
Feels great.
No Mustang convertible yet.
Not yet. No. Motorcycle, if anything. We need a chopper like you.
Yeah.
That's what you want to cruise on these California speedways outside of LA. That's what you want. It's what you need.
Okay, guys, that's it for today. Again, happy 4th. You can find us at PHAROS Athletic Club. We are 1316 Glendale Blvd in Echo Park. We are at PHAROS Mountain Lodge, which is in Idlewild, and you'll be getting some details on that soon. You can follow us on Instagram at PHAROS Echo Park or at PHAROS Mountain Lodge. 2 different Instagrams now, but they'll be interlinked back and forth. And yeah, we will catch you again real soon. Thanks again, guys. Take care. Bye.